"We are running out of time to build defenses against Russia," warns Norway's commander-in-chief.
Here's a summary of the article.
Norway must ramp up defense spending in the face of a potential war with Russia within 3 years, the country's armed forces chief has warned. General Erik Kristoffersen said in an interview with Dagbladet, a Norwegian newspaper, that time was running out to build up the nation's defenses in the face of an increasingly unpredictable Russia. "We do not know what will become of Russia in 3 years. We need to prepare a strong national defense to be able to meet an uncertain and unpredictable world," he added. It is the latest in a string of warnings from Western leaders that open conflict with Russia on the eastern flank is increasingly becoming the biggest security threat facing Europe. NATO leaders are particularly concerned about Putin's apparent goal of expanding the former Russian Empire, which could lead to attempted land grabs in countries that border Russia and its key ally Belarus, such as Finland and the Baltic states. Finland has already joined NATO in anticipation of that threat, while Sweden's request to join the alliance was ratified by the Parliament of Turkey on Tuesday night after more than a year of delays that upset Western efforts to show resolve in the face of Russia's war on Ukraine. Hungary, an increasingly close ally of Russia despite being both a NATO member and EU state, has still not granted approval for Swedish membership.
This post received a score of 10,000, with an upvote ratio of 94%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
They must have intel of something. We weren't talking like this 1 or 2 years ago from what I remember.
This article has been translated from statements made 2 days ago in Norway. It's mostly talking about global tensions and the potential Russian threat coming 10 years from now. As well as how Norway has a window, right now, to build up defenses because if we don't get our shit together fast it significantly increases the probability of being defenseless should something happen down the line. Russia is the biggest threat to Norway, by a far. It's very unlikely that Russia would attempt to go after Norway first.
And it's not like Putin has not been openly threatening you guys in recent years too. Opening square bracket. Opening square bracket. Opening square bracket.
Yay, that's very much worth keeping in mind. We border to Russia and were the first line of defense against the nuke subs of the Russian Northern Fleet. If war happens it's gonna be largely up to Norway to plug the gap at first and we're far from ready for that. We can absolutely keep the surface component of the Northern Fleet on the back foot for at least a while with what we have, but to prevent the nuke subs from breaking out into the Atlantic is a much bigger task.
As a partial Swedish resident, you'll have Sweden and their subs to help, you know that, the UK too, and I suspect the US is putting their pieces in position too. What we have to worry about isn't strategy or military tactics, it's the true Russian ultimate weapon. They're crazy. Nobody has yet devised an effective countermeasure. I don't even think our best AIs will be up to the challenge.
It's crazy that all the countries that nearly border RU are setting off alarms and red flags and the rest of the world is like, we'll give Ukraine just enough to fight but not enough to win.
This is also how it started in Ukraine and the world didn't act.
The West spent years training up Ukraine and those initial javelins were vital in stopping the Russian army rolling west.
That stopped their roll. True. But I'm convinced that until the West starts mass-producing shells, and giving them to Ukraine, Ukraine is pretty much fucked. Barring that, the next best thing would be a no-fly zone, and that means NATO jets striking Russian targets on occupied Ukraine. Training 10 guys to fly donated F-16s isn't going to be enough.
Yeah, people don't want to hear it, but we have reached the point where Ukrainian gumption and Russian incompetence have stopped mattering. Ukraine needs ammo, and also more weapons. Without that, it is only a matter of time until they are overwhelmed. And God help everywhere else that lies west of the Russian border. We ran out the clock and now people are wondering why there is such alarmist rhetoric in Europe this week.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.